Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic episode of Foundation Season 3. And this one is going to be Episode 7, titled Foundation's End. I am one half of your hosts here on Story Archives, Mario Busto, alongside
the other half of your host, Zachary Newton. Welcome back.
Welcome back to another week, another action-packed. I mean, this one was a little bit of a filler episode, if you ask me.
Really?
But no, I'm just trolling because the comments.
I saw
the comments light us up, man. This wasn't a filler. Like, man, shut up.
I'd say last episode. I mean, look, you have to pick your filler episodes relative to every other episode in the season.
People are just too literal. No, Zach. No, Zach. People are just too literal, man. On YouTube, the comments are too literal. Like, Jesus Christ, get a life. Like, oh my God, you guys really calling this a filler? You calling this a filler episode? Like, dude, we're not saying it was literally the entire thing was a filler. We're saying that there was details being filled in. All right, we weren't saying it.
Speaking of
Good
YouTube, though,
Lord.
we did just cross 900 subs, so thank you so much for everybody who's been hitting that subscribe button and the like buttons. Please keep doing that. It helps so much. I really, really want to break 1,000 by the time we close out this show. I think we can do it.
Yeah, thank you guys, truly. We'll put up with the annoying comments for all the positive feedback that we get elsewhere. But my goodness, you do find some people that you honestly wonder if their whole life is just the lore. I'm like, sorry, man. We have other things. This is not the lore accurate at all times thing. So
we're not doing this full time yet, but one day.
What we're gonna have to start doing is we're gonna have to do like a financial disclaimer at the beginning of this episode where it says the opinions held by the host are nothing, they're not legal advice or nothing you should do. You don't need to agree with every single opinion that the hosts have. It will not end your life. You can chill out.
Unless you're a ferret, then maybe it will.
Yeah, if it was as easy to stomp them out. I don't know what's up with Dusk, but I do think, and I am fully on board with Operation Terminate New Terminus. All right. We're going to coin it. That's the operation. I hope he's going with his glass of what's surely probably the finest vintage from the Outer Reach. And I hope he does disintegrate New Terminus into, that would be the strategically best move here. Find out that the Mule, almost called him the Mole, is on New Terminus and just blow him up. Just do it.
Yeah. That's where I thought this was going, honestly. Like, I will say, Dusk really threw me in this episode. Really threw me. But there was multiple times where I was expecting him to just blow up New Terminus. I actually put that in my notes. Like, I feel like he's going to make the call when he was sitting in the throne room and everybody was asking a bunch of questions. But I don't think we're going to find out until next episode. We've got to see that weapon get used somehow. It can't be shown and not be used.
Did you think that the camel was a hallucination?
For a moment. But that's hilarious. All of Day's little creatures are just running around.
Well, and the big ones too.
That's true. I didn't mean little in terms of size.
I thought perhaps that he was losing his marbles. So like the clock of, he's 3 days away from being vaporized into dust. Dusk into dust. And so I was thinking, man, Demerzel's clock, it is never wrong. Truly, he's starting to hallucinate camels in the palace. But no, it does seem to be that Day's zoo is taking place there. This episode was jam-packed, man. We started with what was clearly the Mule's backstory. I mean, the moment I saw it, I said, okay, it's got to be Mule's backstory.
The first thing I wrote, I was like, this has got to be the Mule as a baby or a kid.
Yeah, I'm starting to have some thoughts about the baby. And I'm starting to think some things about the baby. I'm starting to think that perhaps the baby looks like another character who looks like an adult baby. And perhaps maybe Magnifico Giganticus is the younger brother of the Mule.
That's hilarious that you say that, because I literally put in my notes, I said, who is the younger baby? Is this, does he become Magnifico Giganticus is quite literally in my notes. What happens to the baby?
Did they confirm that the baby's a boy, or is it possibly it's a girl?
I don't think there was any gender reveal of the baby in this, but I mean, I'm assuming it's a boy. I don't know why I have that feeling.
I saw a video. It was like It always feels like these videos are coming out of like Eastern Europe, like somewhere in Russia, like where something just blows up and it's just in the distance. And it was just like a giant red plume, and the top comment was like, "Gender reveal is getting out of hand." Like, just it was just like a massive explosion. It wasn't a war.
Hilarious.
It wasn't a war or anything like that. It looked like a demolition or something like that. But it was just
Wow.
like massive.
That's funny.
Um, no, I was just thinking like because Jagnific, jeez, Magnifico,
Magnifico Mephanticus.
Mephantic,
These freaking names, man. I spent half the
Gigantical
episode writing these
Mephitis.
down.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you are right about the names. I almost screamed a cry of joy when Han was talking to his side chick, Stephanie, because I thought he said Stephanie, and I said finally a name that I can write, but no. Then I went back and saw the subtitles, and it was Stephanie.
Seth.
No, it's like,
He keeps
do you
calling
know
her
how
Seth.
do you know how impossible it is to write notes about this
Oh
show?
my God. Half of my page right now is just all underlined in red. You
No,
got Scarlet, Songbird, Ocean Glass 49,
no,
and you've
I
got
got.
Sunmaster 18.
Oh,
Like, holy
dude, no,
cow.
dude, I have Submaster 18. I have Tarzan.
Sunmaster.
Tarzan is Torin. Okay, so mine all over my notes for Torin is just Tarzan all over the place. I have don't even get me started on what Magnifico Giganticus is all over my notes. It's out of hand. Han Pritchard is the only one that it seems to not. Pritchard is impossible to spell out. Han is okay. I mean, the show is a nightmare for writing notes. If you're doing like autocorrect on anything, it's
Oh my
game
God.
over.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
Hilariously.
By the way, stellar casting. The kid who plays the mule.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm assuming that is the mule. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because now now that the baby's in the question, now I'm just debating. Perhaps he has a brother. Perhaps he has a sister. Perhaps it's Beta. Who knows? I don't know. Because here's the thing. There's like a weird thing with all these shows that do like the mental power thing where they don't really tell you what the limits of this man's powers are. Because you got Randu who's brainwashed. Why couldn't he brainwash Torin at the same time? Why couldn't, you know what I mean? So does Torin have mentalic powers? Why couldn't he brainwash Stephanie? Why is Stephanie just chilling while the other one's getting drowned? Like,
Why does he just let Han dip? That was another question I put in my notes.
Well,
He's
Han
literally
is
right
a little
there.
bit, to me, Han is a little bit more explainable because he seems to have like he has mentalic power, so he's able to protect his mind in some sense, right?
To a degree, but remember, like on the planet Calgan, right? Like the Mule did penetrate Pritchard's mind to a
Whoa.
degree. Like that's why he dipped there too.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, but at least the Pritchard would have been prepared a little bit mentally
It's true.
this
He's
time.
the most understandable to be able to get away.
So, anyways, about that kid who's playing the mule,
Hmm.
fantastic casting. I think he stole the part. Like, I think that kid's gonna be a star. Whoever he is, I think he's gonna be like a just absolute star of an actor. I don't know if he'll be able to keep the longevity of it, because considering he seems like he's like 13 years old or something like that. But potential young Voldemort casting for the new Harry Potter series, because what it reminded me of when he's drowning his parents, which is kind of dark, which not confirmed that those are his biological parents. Perhaps he was an orphan, and maybe that was the reason they killed him, because you would have thought that they would have killed the baby and not him.
And that's what I thought was going to happen too. I was surprised by the turn of events.
Yeah, the turneth of eventeth. Yeah, I was a little shocked by that, which made me think that perhaps these were not his biological parents, because it just seemed like they would probably, if he was the biological child of these two, perhaps they'd be a little bit more emotionally torn in the decision.
Yeah.
I just don't see like in what scenario they would kill the oldest one.
It wouldn't make sense to me, right? Like, because what I was thinking about was, I mean,
And the mother
if
can't take
the
a shower.
baby-
Why? Let's just get that straight real quick. The mother doesn't just take a shower. Did you see her face?
they're all dirty, bro. They
No,
all
but
needed a
the
shower.
father wasn't covered in dirt like that. It was just
No,
the
but-
mother, and presumably they had a couple scenes and a couple days passed before the baby was found by the Gestapo.
Yeah, potentially.
She just
I-
had
I-
chronic dirt on her face at all times.
They're living in like a farm dust land. So
Yeah, but you're making it
maybe the
sound.
father was just inside. He was just
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah,
He was, knocking
maybe
back a cold
she
one.
maybe she was the breadwinner. This is the distant future, so I could imagine just it
Hmm.
escalates further and further, or it just reverses roles. But
Yeah.
what you're just kind of assuming that the assessors showed up and then they just straight went to the lake and were like, let's
No,
kill the kid.
I
Let's
don't know
kill the
how
kid out
much
here.
time. I don't know how much time passed. I mean, could
Just
have
a
been
moist, just a
could have
damn
been
towel.
days. Could have been
It
hours. You never know.
could have just been a damn towel from the sink. Wipe your face with it. But
I mean, he did still have the candy that the dude from the foundation gave him, right?
so the assessor showed up and they decided like not even to give it a day's thought. They were just gonna go kill the kid immediately. That's crazy. That is
It's crazy.
literally insane.
It is. I mean, look, when circumstances are like they are, in Rossum.
Not even a bro. Not even a day. Like you
Well,
think about it.
maybe that's a coin in your hat here of or feather in your cap or whatever with assuming that maybe he's not their biological child. I mean, we clearly see there's a what looks like maybe a pattern of families or
I'm
couples having a
sorry.
kid they shouldn't have and giving the kid away so that they don't die. So maybe they received him from some other couple.
You know what? If I'm the mule, I'm thinking to myself, if they make a decision that quickly to take me out,
Hmm.
they've been wanting to do it for a while. They were just looking for the excuse.
It does feel like that. They
I'm
feel
just
very
saying, Zach,
expendable.
put yourself in the mule's shoes. Like
Oh,
that
I would drown him
happens,
too. Yeah.
that goes down. No, like that goes down,
Yeah.
right? They don't wait maybe 15 minutes because I'm making this whole assumption based on how dirty the mother's face was. Her face was as equally dirty as when they were running through the dust field, right?
Hmm.
So I'm guessing within an hour after the assessors left, they went straight down to the lake. The assessors gave them a month.
Yeah.
They could have came up with at least a give the kid a chance to survive, you know? But
Yeah.
no, seems like they were trying to kill baby Hitler, like right out the gate.
Well,
But then they
they sure
created baby
failed.
Hitler.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it didn't seem like he had any powers before this moment of standing up and shouting. It almost seemed like he was surprised about the whole situation. Not trying to be drowned, but the ability to control individuals.
I wonder if so he leaves the baby at the Bartons, presumably,
Hmm.
right? So then my thought process went immediately to, I wonder if he stayed on the planet. He said he went off with pirates, but then Harry Seldon at the end says, I wonder how much of that story is true. So we actually don't know if this story is 100% true, according to Harriton Seldon, who's
I was gonna see
decided
if you
to,
picked up on that. Yeah.
yeah, according to him, who kind of planted a seed of doubt for me in terms of whether the mule is telling the full truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, maybe the mule is implanting this origin story into our own minds, making us feel bad for him. But
No.
I don't know. I would
Largely,
venture to assume it's mostly accurate.
I
I
would
feel
I
like
would
it'd be a
agree.
waste of an episode. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would agree. I'm so glad it didn't start with a Gale narration.
Oh my
Back
God,
on,
yes.
Harry, the Empire had its grips had taken its iron claw across the universe, but what Harry didn't predict was that the Foundation would turn into the monster it was very much trying to stop. And then it cut to that, like
I feel like the foundation was built to turn into an alternative monster. Like
the
like,
first Foundation, yeah.
yeah, definitely the first foundation. I mean, there's not much of what's been going on that Harry doesn't really seem to know about beyond the mule. He seemed shocked about the mule,
You know what, man?
but
I
when he
mean,
came out of there, it seemed a little. I don't know. I kind of feel like he walked out of the vault at the end of this episode really knowing the mule.
if we have GPT-5, I'm assuming Harry's got access to some stuff, in
Yeah.
that ship.
GPT 25. Yeah.
Yeah, something. So just some thoughts about the Foundation, so to speak. It's pretty on, I think it's on brand for humans in some sense. Like, I don't know about you, but the majority of companies I interact with, there is some toxic internal company culture going on. There's usually people playing like stupid games, posturing for power about things that don't matter, ultimately harming like the rest of the company's health because of it. So it's not, you see it in governments, people enriching themselves. You see any avenue where humanity gets too deeply involved or entrenched, and you start to see things go awry. Yeah, there's some shining examples here and there, and there's always good people in there. I'm just saying there's usually amongst 10 good apples, there is one rotten one in the bunch that can ruin the fun for everybody else. And in this case, you got guys like Ember and, God only knows how many corrupt politician types in the Foundation or the first Foundation prior to Ember, right? Didn't really feel too bad when he was drowning himself in this episode. I don't know what that says about me.
Well, he did it with pleasure, right?
It was, yes. True. Yes, maybe that's what it was.
That's why we didn't feel so. Plus, the guy's kind of a douchebag. So
the guy's the worst. The worst. So yeah, I mean, it does feel like largely uncontained that the first Foundation would eventually turn into this sort of thing, which does feel very much like it was part of Harry's design for that to occur. But it is, in a sense, no better than the Empire. Right. And we also know now for a fact that it essentially, radicalized the Mule in a sense, right? Because that was not the Empire coming to collect taxes on the farmlands. That was the Foundation. And they truly looked like Nazi-esque figures in their all gray uniforms. And, it felt very much like Inglourious Bastards when he's about to leave. And then are you housing enemies of the state? And that, he hears the baby crying in the thing, which, by the way, if you're going to hide the baby, don't put him towards the front of the house. Put him...
bury him outside or something.
Just do something in the backyard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something a little further away. If they're going to be in your house, put them in the shed.
Yeah, it's not like they were snooping around or anything, so I feel like that could have been avoided pretty easily.
Yeah. I feel like, once again, maybe they were trying to off the Mule for a while. You never know.
I mean, I don't think he's called the Mule at this point. I don't think anybody knows who he is.
Wonder which pirate he went with. If the pirate had anything to do with what was the name of the first guy in the first two seasons? The Thespin, Salvor's Salvor's love interest.
I mean, this is way after the fact.
I know, but I wonder if they're related to that pirate group.
I don't know. I feel like, if anything, maybe it would have been one of the Mallows. Maybe that's why Randu was so soft on him. Like, hey, he's not that bad.
No, Randu was brainwashed.
Was he? But maybe he was...
That was part of the brainwashing, was saying that it wasn't brainwashing.
Or not. Maybe Randu was one of the pirates that the Mule escaped with.
Yeah.
Or got involved with. Because, I mean, I feel like they're a similar age. Unless there's been some cryo sleep sequence of events we're unaware of.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I had the Mule's powers.
Yeah, it would make life a hell of a lot easier.
Well, I'd tell you how I use it right now.
That's how you'd use it? You wouldn't tell anybody?
Yeah, I just told you. No, what I would do right now is anybody who's listening to this podcast who's enjoying it, I would have them hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video.
Good way to use that power. Yeah.
I'd use mine for good and largely selfish interest in growing the channel. Are we ready to have this deep conversation? I wrote this down as a topic for the episode.
Oh boy.
Are we ready to have this conversation?
Let's give it a shot.
All right, here it goes. Here's my take. Harry Seldon and Demerzel aren't dissimilar at all. They're pretty much doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
That's my take. That's the conversation. Yeah, because, I was thinking about it, and I was, specifically the scene where Day's tripping on the spores, and it goes back to him. You remember when, we got like the little baby Don in the first season?
Yeah, I do.
And one of the things was that they have to be acting like in synchronicity, like in sync the whole time.
Yeah.
And it kept on going to him trying to flip the napkin out at the same time, and he kept on failing at it, and Demerzel kept watching them and saying, again. And we have seen Demerzel send people off to get phased out, right? And she does take matters into her own hands. She essentially does anything that keeps the Empire afloat, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's looking for deviations, and now we know looking for deviations in the psychohistory too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But she does things even before Harry Seldon was born to keep the Empire on a trajectory that it will exist for the next, 10, 20, 30,
Forever.
40, 50, 100 years,
Yeah.
Forever, exactly. So I've been saying this for a few episodes now, that the Foundation really is looking for something no different than the Empire. And considering how we've seen how they use their power, at least the first Foundation, it still doesn't give me any real optimism about how the second Foundation would be run, considering that Gale seems to be a narcissistic, egomaniac, thinking that the entire thing hinges upon her existence. So I know I'm not the biggest Gale.
I am the outlier.
I'm not the biggest Gale apologist on this on YouTube, but I just think that left to its own devices, the Foundation essentially just turns into another mini empire seeking for more control. And I thought it was going to be a mob at the start of this episode of the Mule's backstory, like, they're coming to collect their dues, So I was thinking like maybe it's Empire, maybe it's some goons,
Yeah.
But no, it was Foundation. So, what are your thoughts? Do you still hold some sort of altruistic feeling towards the Foundation, or are the lines just about as blurry as they've ever been on the show?
They're blurrier than they've ever been. And I think that happened about 2 episodes ago, where it's just like, it definitely happened last episode. Like, I can't look at either Foundation, really, because, let's not forget Gale from Foundation 2 was the one that, basically had this entire fleet blown up by the Mule. So, no, I don't have any altruistic feelings for the Foundation. I do find Harry still very interesting. Like, he seems to be like the fountain of information, where there's just like the majority of the intrigue tends to lie with him, I guess. But
not interest. I'm saying more along the lines of, yes, no doubt Harry's an interesting character. No doubt Gale's an interesting character. I'm just talking purely who has the best motivations for the universe.
Neither. I don't think either really does. Foundation, or not Foundation, but Empire's always been on the expanse, and so they're fighting for their longevity and, sacrificing planets, destroying planets. Like, they're a ruthless force. And Foundation is also on the expanse. So, they feel like equal evils to me at this point, and I feel like they're intended to be equal evils.
Have you been watching The Expanse? Because you used The Expanse twice there, in 3 sentences.
I have not, no. Have you?
No, I've never heard anybody even use it in a sentence like that. So I was like, are you watching The Expanse? Funny enough, The Expanse was canceled on Sci-Fi Channel prior to Amazon taking it over. Huh. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I read somewhere, like on a movie fact thing, that was essentially somebody like flew a Skyrider over the Amazon HQ because they found out Jeff Bezos was a fan of The Expanse.
Yeah.
And they essentially were just like, please save the show. It's done. And he picked it up and saved it. That was pretty much.
Wow. That's hilarious. That's
if only somebody would do that for Game of Thrones seasons 5 through 8.
Oh my God. Not gonna be started on that again.
It's funny that we talk about who has the more altruistic motives.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the first time maybe in the show's history, feels like we have an emperor who's a pretty empathetic guy for the most part. I truly think, after seeing all of the potential leaders on this show, Harry Seldon, Gale Dornick, the Mallows, Imber, the girl from the Foundation, the ambassador, Demerzel.
Yeah.
Seeing every ruler we've seen, Sunmaster 18. Okay, that guy looks like a weirdo.
He does. He looks like he came out of Mortal Kombat or something.
He looks so not looks weird. His whole demeanor is so weird and looks
It's
weird
bizarre.
and sounds
It's-
weird. And his garb is weird, and he's dyeing his hair black and stuff like that. I mean, he just is altogether off-putting to the degree that I wonder about the sanity of the people following him. Like you see some of these people and you just wonder, like, if you sound like that and you do things like that, like you just can't be followed. So you do wonder about the people who fall for the crap. But having said all that, are Don and Day not the most likable leaders that we've seen so far in this season in terms of like these guys would probably be the best leaders? I will also put Han Pritchard in this category as well. Are those, I want to leave him out because he's not really involved in this conversation because he's not in any position of power, so to speak. But Don and Day, I'd take them over any of the names that I mentioned prior to them. And Don is dead, so we can keep him out. But I would take Day like this.
Yeah, I think both Dawn and Day, specifically in this season, they feel the most human, and I feel like that's something that we've been saying since season 2 is they're continuing to feel more and more human ever since their, clone capabilities was damaged and destroyed. They're no longer perfect clones anymore.
Well, like Day's story is very much like Buddha's story. He wasn't born a prince; he was born an emperor.
He wasn't born at all.
Yeah, whatever. But he was born, and he's pretty much gone over the castle walls to, not for some altruistic thing. He's going for his own personal freedom, but he's finding out about all these different ways of life. And I feel like I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. I feel like he would be probably the best leader for this particular situation. Whereas you got the Foundation jumping through hoops, creating their own problems with the Mule now, and I guess the interesting wild card would be Demerzel choosing freedom. That was probably the one wrinkle in this episode that I found the most interesting was the whole, Spores, wild trip, and Demerzel admitting what she would do with her freedom and insinuating that she would choose freedom over love.
I did note in this episode that I feel bad for Day, and it's interesting because I feel like Day gives me the feeling that he actually cares.
Yeah.
Like once he realized, Songbird has a lover, like he was just like, I didn't know.
Yeah, he said that he literally apologized.
Yeah, so which is just feels so out of character. It's like so not what I would have expected.
Yes,
I would have expected him to practically just throw his weight around and do anything else but just like sit there and take it. But he did. So
my thought process was that he was the child
everything.
in the visions.
I think so, 100%.
Yeah.
I believe that was him, because it seemed like it seemed like he was remembering himself asking Demerzel the questions. It was like, why are you crying? Did you hurt yourself? I cry when I hurt myself. It's just like, well, you cry when you're sad too.
You know what though? It almost felt, and maybe I'm naive in saying this, it felt like Demerzel was uniquely open with him and answering the questions as honestly as she was. Like the fact that she would actually admit that she would create more creatures like herself, and the fact that she said, I cannot tell you what I would choose, like, freedom over love, because she's insinuating she would take freedom. And he's always painted her as this monster. And I think because he's I think I could be wrong. Watch, we could be so wrong, and then he stomps on a ferret next episode. But like it opens up and he's like killing his camel. But there is something about people who love animals, that there is like a tenderness to them, and I feel like the fact that he had that kind of care for like little lowly creatures, like a ferret, you know what I mean? Like that he was that caring about it. That shows that he might be slightly different from the other Cleons. But I think he left that trip, he was kind of not in the fetal position, but he was kind of like, holding himself, holding his knees. And it looked like he was almost looking at Demerzel in a different light now. Like where he felt almost ashamed that he was treating her like a monster when she was just a creature enslaved against her own will to serve these beings that she had no choice to do.
Yeah.
So he's actually so the whole time he feels like trapped because of her, and maybe he leaves that spore ship and realizes she's trapped because of him. So they are actually not, they're dealing with something very similar. He has to follow through with what he's supposed to do because it's encoded in him, and he's not born and all these different things, and vice versa. She cannot escape either. So the only way for her to be free is for all the Cleons to die. That's what I took away from this episode.
Yeah.
If there's no more Cleons to serve, then she is able to be free.
I think I mostly agree with you. And I feel like Demerzel's she's been fairly torn for a while, right? Because she's bound to protect and preserve this thing that she knows is dying and it will die. So like I feel like maybe that's part of her sadness and just like confusion. I mean, we started this season off with her unburdening. So I feel like there's a lot of unknown. Like I don't even think she really knows. Like what would she do? What could she do? What would this really do to her programming if if Empire disappeared? Could she just be free at that point, or would there be some, I don't know, something still there just like kind of governing her? I struggle to imagine what it would be. I think if they're gone, like, cool, they're gone, she's free.
Well, the very strange Sunmaster 18, this is where my notes messed me up, bro. He's written on my notes as Submaster. If he makes the best subs in all of the of Trantor.
Just think he's the Sunmaster because he wears yellow like the sun.
I don't know what he reminds me of, but he reminds me of something evil. I don't know. He made a kind of an aside or a comment about, what did he refer to as that the tool was stolen from their, I forgot what the term was, but it was started with an L, I believe, or an I.
I know what you're saying. I can't think of the word.
We don't have to get lost in it, but it felt almost like perhaps they have a way that, let's say Demerzel did get free, or let's say they kidnapped Demerzel against her will, that they would be able to create more robots. That's what it felt like to me. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so. I've been wondering for a while, like, if Demerzel really were free, can she create robots? Like, can a robot create other robots? And I mean, I would assume so, but she confirmed it in this, that she can create other robots, which would be, man, that would be wild. Can you imagine if that's where this show starts to pivot? It's like end of the season. It's like, yeah, Demerzel's just
baby robot
down in the middle of Trantor cranking out robots.
No, what did creep me out a bit though was that her tools had the signings that they said meant Earth. So that means Earth eventually came out with all the robots, and that's where the whole show stems from, is Earth. So that is kind of one of the uniquely cool things about this. Is like, unlike any of the sci-fi stories I can think of, this one is actually connected to Earth in some way.
Even if it's just like a little throwaway thing, like I think it just adds this extra bit of intrigue to me that I'm like, okay, all right. What do we do? Where do we go wrong?
Well, because
where do we go right?
Because it almost feels like this whole scenario could be possible in some way.
Yeah.
Because the powers even are, I mean, I don't know. They're not like so, of course they're insanely powerful, but my whole point is that the way the show makes it feel is like they've discovered these just crazy technologies and different life forms in some way, like the spacers and like that things like this might be possible. Like who knows what a spacer is, for instance. Like, we don't know what a spacer. What if a spacer had a kid with a baby, and that's how the Mentalics, not a kid with a baby, a kid with a human, and they had a baby, is what I meant to say.
I know that's what you meant.
And they had mentalic powers. Like, remember Gale, when she did the jump in season 1, her mind could handle it. So perhaps this all stems from some spacer human,
hybrid,
exactly.
Yeah, could be. Maybe they also just invented the limitless pill and took a few of those. You never know.
They're gonna know.
Yeah.
So over under on Giganticus Magnificus being. Is it not Giganticus Magnifico?
No, it's Magnifico Giganticus.
Damn.
You always get it backwards. It kills me.
Over under on him being the brother of the mule at this point. Are we saying over 50% chance?
I mean,
Well, let's not do 50. Over 75% chance?
That's what I put in my notes. That was like my gut reaction to seeing that. I was like, maybe this is Magnifico. Because he, like, I feel like in a weird way, the mule has this big brothery feeling compared to Magnifico. I mean, like,
Magnifico does feel like a little brother.
he feels like a little brother. And, older brothers,
You're an
not
older
always
brother.
the nicest, Yeah, you're manipulative. It's true. I'm not just talking about myself. This is just like everybody. It's like a known fact.
Older brothers are manipulative?
No, they can be. We're just gonna let that sit there for a minute.
Yeah, we just let it sit.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're always messing with your younger siblings. Like I feel like that's just.
I feel like I'm an older sibling in a younger sibling's body because I am a youngest child.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very much a youngest child for sure. Like for sure, there are definitely elements of my personality in that way. But I do tend to be a bit domineering, and I think that is an oldest child trait.
I think so. Yeah. So you somehow got that slipped in there. You have an older brother? Or no?
No, it might be.
That's probably why.
No, I don't. I have an older sister.
Well, there's your answer then. If you didn't have an older brother, that's why you got the trait.
How do you not know this? You've been my friend for years. You didn't know I have an older sister.
Just double checking live. It's late.
Unreal. You think you know somebody? See, he is manipulative, guys. He is manipulative.
Lost, brother I've never known.
It's true. Could be one floating around out there. Yeah, what was I gonna say?
I have no idea. We went down this rabbit hole of, is Magnifico the mule's brother?
Yeah, I'd say greater than. I'm not gonna say 75% chance. I'm gonna say greater than 60% chance he's the mule's brother.
Yeah,
and also there's an outside chance that he's more powerful than the mule somehow. Don't know how. Just possible.
I mean, he is playing the instrument all the time, so
yeah, there's just something odd about that instrument. Something I don't know. Something that doesn't jive with me. That would be the craziest twist ever. If he was like Ed Norton in what's that movie? I think Primal Fear?
Sounds sort of right.
Anyways, where the hell's Torin going?
I don't know. I mean, he's definitely not going to Caligan. We can rule that one out. Maybe he's just going to take a pod to... He doesn't know where the second foundation, though, is, does he? I don't think so.
No.
Maybe he's just going up to the space station up there. Because he thinks everything's going on down there. Feels like that could be a plausible place to retreat to. Also, RAP, like Capillus and Randu, and who else did we lose in this?
Capillus.
Yeah. Inver.
Capillus?
Capillus is the ferret.
Oh, yeah, Capillus. I was pissed that Dusk did that.
So did I. It turned so dark.
He's going to be the most interesting wild card the rest of the season.
Once he did that, I was like, oh yeah, he's blowing up the planet.
He has Trantor all to himself.
Yeah.
He's like the rebellious teenager who's, the parents are gone for the weekend. Mm-hmm. Like, he just finished banging the ambassador, Her performance did not impress me, by the way.
Quint,
yeah.
Quint's
when she was looking off into the distance and just recounting the horror of what I just didn't believe her.
She felt very much like a politician.
Yeah, I started thinking about it.
Like a politician.
I was just trying to understand where the performance is coming from, and the only thing I could think of was that she was shell shocked, considering her entire existence is tied to the foundation existing, and she's not connected to the second foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing. But
Yeah.
I don't buy their love story.
It feels weird. I was so thrown in this though, because I'm like, wow, they like Dusk and Quint had a pretty human moment at dinner. And I literally
Yeah,
wrote,
but
you
after
know, they're
he
just there
stomped on the
feeding the
ferret,
ferret, and then like a couple scenes later, I'm like, what? He just
after he
smashed
yeah,
Capillus.
after he stomped on the ferret, I just kind of, anything he said, I threw it out the window.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're bound to see that weapon used in the next episode. I feel like it's probably pre-finale, I would imagine. Like, I don't think we're going to end with him using that weapon.
Yeah, so where do we go here from here? What do you think's gonna happen next episode? And then I'll tell you what I think's gonna happen.
Next episode, I mean, I think we got enough of the Mule. Like, I don't think we're going to dwell too much on, like, the Mule's backstory. Like, I feel like we have a good understanding of his motivations. Some of them, at the very least. I would imagine... I feel like Dusk is just going to try and take his weapon to Foundation now that he knows the Mule's there. Like, I feel like it's inevitable. I can't think of anything beyond that.
Well, you're gonna have to, because there's several episodes left, so he's not gonna just blow up the planet with 80% of the main characters on it. Not next episode, at least.
I didn't say the Mule was going to be there when he did it, but
I think that next episode we can't go 2 episodes without Gale. We literally just left off with Gale and Demerzel, which is probably the most interesting thing of the season.
this is very true.
Don has got to come back at some point, or he's dead for good. We're gonna find out. Maybe Demerzel is gonna find out that she is just 2 moments away from being free if she just kind of lets things ride, but she can't, so she needs to preserve the Cleons that remain. But if she vaporizes Dusk in 3 days, then that just leaves Day. And if Day overdoses on spores, then then she can be free, possibly. But I still think she would need all of the backups to be destroyed too.
Then there would have to be like no hope, right? And then I feel like you could go down some weird rabbit hole of like, yeah, maybe they're all dead, but there's like a stem cell somewhere, and she can go to work in a lab and recreate Cleon from scratch or something. I have no idea.
Maybe Day's whole thing will be that he'll be converted to this robot religion, and he'll plan to destroy himself and destroy all the backup clones, and then the season ends with like, these are the last 3 versions of Cleon. That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah. I could see some sort of like self-sacrifice thing from Day. Like, I feel like, I mean, again, Day felt like he really cared in this episode, cared at least about Songbird. Maybe after this mushroom trip.
By the way, can we talk about how incredibly shot the whole trip sequence was, and how incredibly sequenced?
I don't think I blinked.
I rewound it like several times just to see how they did certain shots, like when he fell to the ground on that, and the sound effects were just incredible.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It was done so well. But yeah, to your point, I could see him sacrificing himself to free Demerzel. Like, they're both tortured and imprisoned, and the only way Day's getting out of it is probably death, would be my guess.
I think that next episode we get the Gale Demerzel sort of update, right? We get a bit of an update on Han Pritchard, who has to save Beta and probably try to get Magnifico off the planet as well. Also, Sephane's in danger, so he should probably do something about that. And then back on Trantor, we'll probably get Dusk do something with the weapon, or at least start putting into motion what he's thinking about doing with the weapon. Day has to get further introduced to this cult that exists in Mycogen.
Yeah.
And I think at some point, Song is going to put on that device that Day brought to get her memories back, and they're going to they'll end up with each other. Whether Day dies or not, like for a period of time, I think they'll be together, even if it's for like a fleeting moment.
I feel like it's inevitable for her to, take her memories back. I half expected it to happen in this episode because I thought there was a moment where she kind of like gave a long stare to her memories.
Yeah,
So
like in the expanse of things, I could totally see that going down. All right, let's get into some
damn.
categories.
All right, let's do favorite scene of the episode. I had to pick two, but curious to hear what yours are.
Man, this episode was fantastic. So it's
Was.
kind of a little bit hard to decipher, or not decipher, but to pick out of all of the good ones.
I
I'm
can go
gonna
first if you want.
No, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the spores tripping scene.
That's my number one.
That's like 1A for me, and
Mhm.
then 1B. I'm gonna see if I guess both yours, but I didn't have a second one, but I'm gonna say 1B. If we're gonna take the whole sequence of it, is the backstory of the mule.
No, actually, it's not. That's not my number two. It was interesting. I mean, I did enjoy it. I thought. Well, I didn't think. I really thoroughly enjoyed the whole Torn and Randu situation.
You
So,
are really tight with that storyline with Randu. You really liked Randu. You must have been
liked it.
devastated. Who shot him in the head, by the way?
the ship.
The ship just shot. It was like a mechanism, like
Yeah,
a defense
I think
mechanism.
it was like a Control Alt Delete function inside that
Yeah.
ship.
Interesting.
Because like the moment Torin got in there and basically hit that eject button, like Randu knew he was effed. Like he was dying. He was about to die, and
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
just got like a bolt straight to the head.
Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah, so
Um.
that was my favorite
Okay.
scene.
Okay.
Second one. How about character?
Dude, honestly, I thought the kid stole the show. The kid mule. I thought he was very good. I thought he was very good. Like if I had to choose between my favorite characters this episode, it would probably be three, with one special mention.
Okay.
So
I picked two.
I would go young mule, regular mule, day, and then little bun, little bread roll,
Little bread roll.
Scarlet.
Oh, Scarlet.
The
Yeah,
little
she's
kid is
interesting.
funny. The little kid has turned into like Wormtail from Harry Potter. Like that kid, the little kid just
Yeah.
scampers around after. It's like it's kind of adorable until you realize that she's just witnessing murder after murder.
Yeah, and commanding it too. By the way.
Yeah.
My top two. It's hard for me to pick the young mule. I did think his performance towards the end was really good, but there just wasn't enough of him on screen for me. So the two that I ended up going with was Day. It was hard for me to not pick Day. I thought I really enjoyed him in this episode. And then, similar to my favorite scenes, I also picked Torin for my number two character. I thought he really killed the whole scene inside of the ship.
I thought
great.
Torrin was very good as well.
Yeah. It's hard to narrow these things down, man. It's really hard.
He did leave Beta behind though, so I do wonder what his plan's gonna be.
It's like I feel like it's just escape to find another day. That's why I don't really think he went to another planet. I feel like he's just shot up into space to like go to the space station, and he's going to try and figure out a way to get back.
Yeah.
Maybe he went there trying to, I don't know, thinking he's going to get Pritchard out or something, and they're going to team up again.
Yeah.
Were there?
No favorite
I'm going
line.
to ask you your no favorite line. All right.
No.
My
I'm
favorite
gonna-
line
I'm gonna
was
veto that. for
was
whole
the
season.
mule though. It was you're a soft man, and now you're sticky too. You should learn to like it. It was great. Come on. Yeah. Why not?
It's
a good
all
line.
right. I mean, it's very cool.
It's good. It's lovely. You're gonna rub some blood on your face.
All right. Shall we get into the after show? I think this is like a new segment we should do.
Let's
the
do
after
it.
the after show is like the OG where we can just talk about whatever we want, what's going on, things that we've seen this week, things that are we see coming up. I'm seeing a ton of stuff on the TV calendar, like more stuff that's gonna be possible to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
As it is, I'm behind on several things. I haven't watched Wednesday. The Invasion season 3 just came out today,
Day, yeah.
which shocked me. Next month we have Slow Horses coming out. We have a new show from the creator of Peaky Blinders, which is about the Guinness beer family and all of like the backstabbings and betrayals and side deals they had to do, which is, I cannot wait for that show. I didn't even hear about it until yesterday. We got a picture of the Immortal Man, which is coming out January 2026, which is the Peaky Blinders movie. And there's some rumors about a new season after the movie. There's some footage of Harry Potter being filmed in London right now, which was the scene of Hagrid seemingly taking Harry to Diagon Alley for the first time. And it looks amazing. There's just a million things going on, and I'm busier than I've ever been in my personal life. So
yeah,
what about you?
There's not been too much I've been able to do except Wednesday. I binged the first part of that season over the course of a weekend. It's good. I enjoy it. It's dark. It's funny but dark. So I feel like you'll burn through that in like a day or two as well.
I watched. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
I watched Superman, the new one with I think his name is David Cornsweet. Which he definitely didn't change his name. That's got to be his name, like naturally. You know, like a lot of actors change their names. Yeah, that has to be his name because it's not like very like marketable, you know. But he's a great Superman. I think he's better than Henry Cavill.
Okay.
I think he's like a fantastic Superman, and the movie was great. James Gunn just doesn't miss. I thought the dog, Crypto, was gonna be like the cheesiest, corniest thing. The dog is the best thing in the whole movie.
Really?
Oh, it's a good movie. Like you will laugh your ass off watching that movie to the point where it's like maybe a little bit too funny. But I thought it was great. They don't do the whole backstory of Superman, so you don't have to. That's the thing with the superhero movies is that nowadays every remake is doing also the origin story all over again. It's like how many times we got to see Uncle Ben die, you know?
Yeah.
So they don't do the whole backstory. He's already Superman when it starts. It's like Luthor's already a pain in the ass when it begins. So, in fact, like it's kind of one of those where you probably could imagine the sequel is going to be very good, because everything's already been laid out. But it's freaking hilarious, like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 type funny.
Yeah, I thought about watching that, but I haven't. Is it still in theaters?
No, I bought it. On Sunday. I watched two movies. Did I watch two movies on my birthday? I did. I watched Superman and I watched for the first time 10 Things I Hate About You, which is the old rom-com, which I had it on my list for a long time with Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles and very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie. I'm sure you've seen it or your wife who's a Disney bug has definitely seen it.
It's possible. Sure. It's possible. I haven't seen it. I keep coming across the snippets online every day, so I'm probably gonna have to see it. Online. But no, I mean outside of
you got a very romantic For You page. I've been in the mood for the romances lately, man. Like I'm gonna watch the Map That Leads to You with our girl from Outer Banks, Madeline Klein.
I know who you're talking about.
Damn right you do. So I'm gonna watch that. That's on Amazon Prime. I'm in like a rom-com type of mood, bro. Not gonna lie.
I can't get into it right. I mean, like they're okay. I don't have any on my list.
I gotta be in the mood.
To see.
I gotta be in the mood.
I watched the first episode of Chief of War.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, that's another one.
That's pretty good. I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to continuing it. I will say if you're gonna watch it, you really got to sit down and make sure you're watching it, just because you've got to read the captions.
What language is it?
I don't know the actual language, but my understanding is like 3 or 4 tribes in like there's Hawaii, Maui, and like a couple others.
How do they say Hawaii on the show? It's not how we say it.
Hawaii. Yeah, something like that.
Whenever I hear
I feel like it's in their traditional languages.
If I ever hear The Rock or Jason Momoa or Tulsi Gabbard say Hawaii, it's never how like a random gringo says it.
Yeah.
Like we say it wrong. They say it the proper way. I don't know how they say it. It's like Hawaii. They say like a certain pronunciation.
You say it with your chest, bro. And then I watched the Manhunt.
Those Samoans. Like in the NFL, you don't watch the NFL, but
no, I don't.
Like whenever we draft a Samoan, some dude from Hawaii, I'm always ecstatic. Like the Dolphins drafted an offensive lineman from Hawaii. He said he feels God put him on this earth to protect his Samoan brothers, and our quarterback is Samoan. So, and he's very has a very long injury history. So I hope that is the case.
Wow.
So, sorry, you were saying what else you were watching?
Okay. Oh no, the other thing I watched, I binged it, was Manhunt. It's with the Abe Lincoln assassination and the hunt for John Wilkes Booth. It was interesting.
You know, that dude has a chokehold on Apple castings. The guy in that. What's his name? He's in Tetris. He's in show we covered.
Edgerton?
Who?
Edgerton?
No, he's in that?
Isn't that the Tetris guy?
No, the guy who plays the douchebag son in Tetris.
Oh.
He's also in the show we covered, the Something of War, the with the pilots, with Elvis.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. God, what was the name of that?
It's incredible that we don't remember the name of the show we covered.
We've done so many. What? I feel like didn't it start with like an F? Now I need to know. Here, I'll pull it up from our list of things.
Masters of the
For
Air
All
had nothing
Mankind.
to do with Man of War.
It was not for all. Was it for? Not
It
for
wasn't
all
For All
mankind.
Mankind.
What the
It
heck?
was
Not For All Mankind.
Zach, you are on one. Masters of the Air.
Masters of the Air. That's right. Yeah. It's late, bro. It's late. I don't know
What's the name of the actor, bro? He's the one who plays the translator or the map guy. All right, listen.
I can't
look
think
up
of the name.
look up Anthony. Just look up Anthony Boyle and tell me that he was in the damn Lincoln show. That's my whole point here. That's my whole point.
Oh yeah, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's in the Lincoln
100%.
show.
Yeah,
and he's gonna be in an upcoming show as well.
He's John Wilkes Booth.
He killed Lincoln,
Yeah,
bastard.
I know.
Why does he have such a chokehold on castings on Apple TV? His agent's got to be terrific. He has one coming out soon, upcoming. He's in the House of Guinness.
Is he really?
Yeah. And he's playing Sam Bankman-Fried in the upcoming TV miniseries about FTX.
That's interesting.
Is he the lead in the House of Guinness? Is he the main lead? He's Arthur Guinness, yeah.
Is he really?
Dude, they got a stacked cast for this Guinness show.
Did you hear there's I don't know if it's a show or a movie yet with it's called like Artificial, about OpenAI. Andrew Garfield is playing Sam Altman.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it today. I don't know anything about what they're really going to do.
I know they told
Cutthroat
us Three Body
technology.
Problems coming out in 2028, but I
Yeah.
gotta confirm that.
3 Body
Yeah,
Problem.
dude, we got some bad information. It's gonna release next year, and they're gonna be shot concurrently, seasons 2 and 3. Who the hell told us it was coming out in 2028? Was that you, Zach?
I don't know.
'Cause you're-
There's another show that
Your information. I
is,
swear, if I-
no,
if I was
Last of Us is like 2 years out.
Was it who told us Three Body Problem was coming out in 28?
I have no idea.
We said it on our show about the agenda. We said Three Body Problems coming out in 2028. And somebody told us that, or it had to have been you. You have the algorithm of a 65-year-old woman.
I did not look it up on social though. My social feed is absolute crap. Do we have a season 2 release date?
Just
Is
FYI
it
for
confirmed?
everyone out there, Zach has sent me who the new James Bond's gonna be about 3 various times, and every single time I have to tell him, bro, it's fake news. It's fake news.
I don't think I said like this is the new one. I mean, the most recent one I've heard that's is Cillian Murphy in the lead for it, but I don't know if that's
By the way,
gonna happen.
we have a listener out there. I don't want to put him on blast in case he gets in trouble, but we have a listener out there who messaged me on Instagram, which you can follow us guys on IG and hit us up. Mario Busto is mine and Zachary R. Newton.
Mm-hmm.
But he hit me up with some inside information about who the next James Bond's gonna be, and it's not who anybody would think it's gonna be. But if this guy ends up being correct, like right now, like I know, I'm gonna say like if it ends up being this guy, I'm gonna say that I knew the whole time, and anybody who's listening to this after show will know this podcast with 900 subscribers. One of the actually both of the hosts know, because I told Zach. Both of the hosts know who James Bond is going to be before the world knows, because of one Story Archives listener out there. Okay, and he gets the credit, but I can't put him on blast because he's too close to the source. So
yeah,
it's crazy though how small. Like if he's right about that, I don't even know what we do. We got to send him like a freaking Story Archives mug or something like that, because
we're gonna have to like literally like get like a nice metal like badge or something, like an award.
It's insane.
Top pick of the year, something like that.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, bro, I am slammed. That's the reason why we're doing like one episode a week. These guys. Like I just started doing an edit for what seems like it's gonna be a TV series or like a web series type of thing, which I can't talk anything about. But yeah, the next, at least what it looks like, the next few months are gonna just be absolutely slammed. So.
Also Fallout Season 2.
Oh my gosh, and that's in December, right?
Yeah,
That's coming out
December 17th. Yeah.
There's just not enough hours in the day. Like right today, it's already Friday. It's midnight.
Yep.
And I feel like I blinked and from Monday and it's Friday, and my whole week is gone.
This week's been a blur.
Dude, the whole year's been a blur.
Yeah,
a whole year. I mean, it's the fact that it's August 22nd. But
anyways. I hope you enjoyed this. Blur with us into next week for episode 8 of Foundation. You can catch us anywhere you find podcasts, Apple and Spotify, or you could visit our website at soapbox.house and you'll find links to the show and everything else we got on the network.
And yes, please respect and enjoy the piece, especially in the comment section.
All right, we love it. Peace.